Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have been super busy prepping for English camp, wrapping up the semester, and my camp is starting in the next 2 weeks. I'm super nervous because there is still so much that I have to do, but we will get it done. Guys, I've got a fever blister, so please don't mind it. My fingers had an accident, so yes, my nail is off. I'm glad we got that out of the way, so let's start this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about travel insurance, life insurance, medical insurance in South Korea. I'm going to be telling you what it was like to quarantine here because I got COVID for the very first time. Then we're going to be talking about other health-related issues. And I think that's about it. So let's jump straight into things. What is travel insurance, guys? Travel insurance is basically a short-term insurance that you take on your life. Doesn't matter where you're going to, but when you do leave the country, you have to have travel insurance just in case something happens to you. It's always great to have a cover for emergencies. And when I came to South Korea, I took out a 30-day travel insurance with TIC. They are with Centum. I have said this before, and I paid 1,600 Rand for that cover. And that cover came in very handy because within my second week in South Korea, I fell ill. My feet just started swelling up. It's not the cabin pressure, not the humidity or heat or walking too much. I still do not know till this day what was happening. So I started running into hospitals, seeing different doctors. And I remember seeing a doctor who said to me, maybe I could have kidney issues and then I need to go to a general hospital. And guys, it was at that moment that I felt so scared. And I hated the fact that I was actually so far away from my family because they could not really assist me. You know, no one could drive me around, and I had to run around during Chuseok looking for hospitals that were open because funny enough, a lot of these doctors here and pharmacies actually close around public holidays, which is super weird. But I ended up getting help. This was me at the medicine clinic, pretty much in disbelief of what was happening to my poor feet. The needles are actually not too painful. It's just that when they switch on these machines, you start to get a bit of a tingly feeling. The cupping was horrible. I mean, look at all of this blood. Ew, sorry guys. But the doctor actually used a needle gun and it was just horrible. So my parents said, listen, if you do not recover, you are coming home. We don't want to hear anything else. I would say 2 to 3 weeks after cupping and acupuncture, my feet started to become better. During that period, I was actually only able to fit in 2 pairs of shoes. So my black sandals and my All-Stars. And I was so shocked to discover that the most uncomfortable sneaker in the world has come to save me. Yes, I think All-Stars are really uncomfortable, guys, but I'm telling you right now, they came in and they saved you, girl. My medical expenses were 3,100 Rand. And I paid out of pocket, and then I contacted my travel insurance and I said, guys, listen, this is what has happened. I obviously now need to be reimbursed. And they did that within 10 days. They obviously asked for proof of hospital visitation. They ask for your boarding tickets. They want to see the stamp in your passport as well, just to verify that you're not making any of this up. I mean, I don't know who would make any of this up, but they do ask for quite a lot of information. However, the one thing you also don't need to worry about is the translating of documents from Korean to English. They don't really worry too much about that. And some of the doctors I went to had English invoices, so it was never an issue. So what I did is I converted the Korean ones into rands. And I suppose that's something that they will obviously do for themselves, but I just tried to make things a little bit easier for them. And that was it. So if you're able to, guys, please do get travel insurance. It does not have to be TIC. I know TIC is pretty expensive. You can actually use other travel insurance companies. I have used Allianz before. I know they have really, really affordable travel covers. So please go onto the website, check them out. I've used a travel cover with Old Mutual as well. I know FNB has got travel insurance if you pay with a credit card. The reason why I did not take it is because I was not going to be covered for COVID. And at the time we arrived in South Korea, we had to do COVID tests and all of that stuff. So I was like, nah. It's not going to work. And that's also another thing with travel insurances. So when you do go on vacation, you obviously need to understand that you will not be covered for everything. So if you're planning to go diving in the Great Barrier Reef, guys, you probably will not even be insured, or you may be paying a higher premium than somebody who's just coming here to work and they're not going to be doing any extreme sports. I know with my travel insurance, they would have never covered me for extreme sports, but travel insurances are very different. So you always have to choose what you feel is going to work for you. Let's talk about our medical insurance here in South Korea. This is basically like a medical aid that you would get back at home. However, they do not cover you for everything. So you will not be covered for death. They're not going to take your body back home should you pass away here. Your family is going to have to figure out a way to get your body home. There are certain things they will not cover you for. And what I've heard from people who've been here the longest is that it's actually a really great idea to get additional cover. I heard something about Samsung insurance. I don't want to lie to you. I have not even bothered to do any further research on it. I don't know why. Maybe this is me being irresponsible, or maybe it's because I know I've got backup. But if you would like to explore those options, please do a bit of research and find out if you can actually take additional cover in case your medical insurance here in South Korea does not cover you for certain procedures. They will obviously cover you for everyday things, you know, the basics, going in to see the doctor, and I mean, that's pretty cheap. Sometimes you go and see a doctor and you pay 11,000 Korean wons. Medication could be 3,000 Korean wons, very cheap. But if you have to now do all sorts of surgeries and stuff, they will pay, but it all depends on what it is you're actually doing at the hospital. And once it gets depleted, it means you now have to pay out of your pocket. And that's where the problem comes in. Do you have a life cover? Yes, I'm talking to you. Do you have a life cover? Well, if you don't have a life cover, you don't have to worry too much. You can actually still get a life cover. I want to tell you about my life cover. I am insured with Capital Legacy. I have been with them for the past 4 years and I've had nothing to complain about because, well, darlings, I'm still alive and I'm still very healthy. Thank God for that. Before you board that flight, guys, get yourselves insured. Do not live abroad without a life cover, guys. Please do not try it. Do not do it. And if you don't have money to take out a life cover, it's okay. Once you get to South Korea, you start making money, put money aside, and start contacting a few of these companies for life insurance. There are so many more others that you can find. These are just a few that I've collected for you guys. Even funeral parlors have life covers. But when you take these life covers as well, you must be very careful because you don't just take any random life cover. You need to look at what the life cover has got in. Same with travel insurance. So now let me tell you what my life cover has in. My life cover has actually got a will. So Capital Legacy has gone and they've made me a will, and I can change this will anytime I want to change it. The other thing that Capital Legacy will cover for is the winding up of my estate. Estate costs are things that a lot of people actually do not think about. You don't just die and then your money gets sent to all of your beneficiaries, but there are a lot of processes that you may have to go through, depending, of course, on your assets and what your situation was like. Everyone's situation is very different, but it can take up to years to wind up someone's estate. And in that period of time, nobody is getting that money, you know? So Capital Legacy actually pays for your costs. My life cover has got a portion of money reserved for dreadful diseases and disabilities. Because another thing, guys, that people don't think of, you don't go from living and then you just die. There's that in-between period. That in-between period where you're alive and then where you can fall really ill or you can be disabled. Do you have a life cover that covers you for that? That's what you need to find out when you do take life covers. There are so many things you can add in life covers. Some life covers actually have income protectors. If you lose your job, there is a life cover that can actually pay for you. There are life covers that pay you out when you are sick and you're just in hospital, depending on what your illness is. There are life covers that actually allow you to even get cashbacks if you do not claim anything from them. So it is a lot of information. And I would actually suggest that you start getting onto your laptops now, your phones, and read more about life covers and the options that are available to you. Capital Legacy actually doesn't have a standard life cover, so everybody is very different. You walk in there and you tell them, listen, this is how much I have, this is what I want to be insured for, and they make a plan according to your own specs and your budget, which is why I love them. What I can do is I can leave you my broker's details in the description box, and I will show you a bit of the brochure as well, just to show you what it is that they cover you for. So these are some of the things, and not all, that Capital Legacy will cover you for. What I really like about their covers is that they are so well explained. You learn so much when you get these startup brochures once you have registered with them. They also give you general definitions so you can understand the terminology they use in these life covers. And then guys, should I die abroad, am I going to be covered? And the answer is yes. My life cover has a payment that my parents can obviously get so they can bring my body back home. And then I do have another payment plan for them as beneficiaries and stuff. But what I did with my life cover, my dad actually advised me to do this. He advised me not to take a higher payout. So a higher payout, that's obviously for your death. If you die, your beneficiaries get all the money. He instead said to me, increase your dreadful diseases and your disability cover, because what happens if you're ill for a very long time or you're disabled for a very long time? There is then no point in you saying you've got a 10 million rand funeral cover because, well, you have not died yet. You're actually still alive. The 10 million rand is what you want to use when you are ill, and then obviously however much you can use when you have passed away. So my dreadful diseases and disability cover payout is way more higher than my death payout, but it all depends on you and what it is that you obviously want to do. So please get insured, because what happens is that if you are not insured, your medical insurance gets depleted, guys. It means the South African community in whichever country you're in has to chip in, donate money, and while donations are great, sometimes there are never enough. And in this period, your family is stressing out, you are stressing out, because all you want to do is cover these bills and get yourself home if you're going to be going home. And sometimes, guys, there are parents who actually want people to take their children's ashes back home, and people don't want to do all of that. So to avoid stressing yourselves out and your families, please, guys, invest in life covers. Life covers don't have to be expensive. They range anything from probably 80 rand up to however much it is that you want it to be, depending on what is inside your life cover. So please get yourselves insured. Another thing as well that I actually want to stress out so much now that is linked to this life cover thing is the issue of having savings for emergencies. When you arrive here, guys, and you start to put money away, please make sure that you start to put some money away for emergencies. What kind of emergencies? Well, emergencies like money for a flight home, perhaps, or maybe money to buy somebody a flight to come here and assist you should you fall ill, or I don't know, something. But you always have to have money around for emergencies. Anything can happen to you. And it's very difficult for your family to assist you when you're so far away from them. So you don't want to stress them out. You don't want to stress yourselves out. While you are busy doing your budgeting every month, please put away money for emergencies. Good? Great. Now let's go on to lighter things. So, as you guys remember, I went to South Africa on vacation. When I came back, I went elsewhere on vacation. And when I arrived in South Korea, I was sick. I'm not sure where I caught COVID now, but I was sick. I decided to go and get tested at a community center. If you want to get tested for free, guys, go to the community centers in your area. Do not go to the hospitals, you will pay. I only discovered this after paying 90,000 in January because I thought I had COVID. Meanwhile, it was just flu. So I took a rapid test. It came out positive. The mistake I made was going to the community center to show them the picture to say, hey guys, listen, my rapid test is positive. I think I have COVID, please test me. So what they're going to want is they're going to want that rapid test, or they're going to ask you to go and buy a new rapid test kit. You will obviously test in front of them which is what I did. And then they decided to do a PCR test, and they told me I would get the results the following day at 7 in the morning. And at 7 in the morning, guys, those results were in. You gotta love Korea. So I then sent those results to my school, and I let them know, guys, listen, I am in quarantine for the next 7 days. And I was so happy. The reason why I was so happy is because, guys, I was really exhausted from vacation. Hey, I was so tired. So I think God was like, my child, this is the only way I can save you. So you are gonna have to rest. And quarantine was actually quite okay for me. My symptoms were not bad at all. I mean, I could still taste food. I was ordering Lotteria, Frank Burger, Burger King. I was having the time of my life in bed while everyone was back during the second semester. But I'm grateful that I am healthy and I'm good again. But the bad news is that we don't actually have to quarantine anymore when you get COVID. So if you catch COVID now, it looks like you're just gonna have to mask up and come to work. So I would say the timing was really perfect. So yeah, that's what happened to me. I got COVID for the first time and I was here. My parents were freaking out and I was like, guys, relax. If I can still taste the cheese stick from Lotteria, trust me, honeys, I am very good. Oh yes, so there's something I want to add into this video as well. I've been getting asked a lot of questions around the issue of illnesses that may prevent you from being accepted here in South Korea. And I want to say to you, when we do our medical tests in South Korea, honestly speaking, I think they do that to find out if you have drugs in your systems or STIs. The one thing, guys, that will disqualify you from applying here completely, whether you are with Epic or you are with a Hogwan, is TB. That is why we do those x-rays. So once you have TB, you cannot work here. Now, coming to the issue of HIV, diabetes, arthritis, this is very difficult to answer, especially around the issue of HIV, because with Epic, they actually don't test you for HIV, so you're okay. However, some Hogwans actually test people for HIV, and it's actually illegal. So if you know your rights and you are not afraid to stand up for yourselves and to speak, you may still apply and see how far that gets you, because I know there are directors who will tell you that they don't want to work with you once they discover that you are positive. There are some teachers though who have declined those tests and they've said, stop, we are not supposed to be getting tested for this, and some directors have let them off. So it really depends, guys. I don't want to say you cannot apply or you can apply, but I can tell you with Epic, they do not test for HIV. The reason why they ask you about some of these illnesses, especially in our Epic application, is because they want to find out if you are fit enough to work. They ask you if you've, I think I've mentioned this before in one of the videos, if you've gone for therapy before, or if you've had any major health issues and stuff like that. And while you are filling in that form, guys, it's good to fill in things. I mean, if you have allergies and you suffer from things like pollen, it's okay to put that in because you may be affected here. But obviously you do mention that you've got medication, it's under control. But I mean, if you've had things like BBL in 2008, darling, it's not going to stop you from teaching. Guys, refrain from putting in unnecessary things in those application forms because they will reject them. And the only reason why they reject them is simple. Think about it. Why would you want to hire somebody who needs so much medical care when you can take the next person who's perfectly healthy? Think about it. So refrain from putting in things, because I feel like some of you guys are just sabotaging yourselves, and you're not going to get these jobs if you go in putting in every little thing. You don't have to tell them, if you don't eat brown bread, that's for you to know. They're not going to shove it down your throat. You know what I'm saying? The one other thing, guys, that's very difficult now to answer is the question around syphilis. Two things will happen if you have syphilis. Number one, if you're with Epic, you will definitely get sent home. We do our medical exams the day after you arrive at the orientation venue. You wake up in the morning, you get tested for everything. And guys, I don't want to lie to you. It is a very, very scary time. You know you're clean but you're just like, hey. So if you do have things like syphilis, you'll definitely get sent home. With hogwans, two things can happen. Number one, you can get sent home, or you may actually get a very nice director who says, listen, it's okay. You can actually test again for syphilis after a period of time because we are going to allow you to do treatment. So I'm not saying yes, you will stay, but what I'm saying to you is there are cases where directors have said, it's okay, you can go for treatment and then you do tests afterwards. And that is where I will leave it. Now, coming to medication. Before you come to South Korea or whichever country you are going to, guys, please log on to the internet and find out which medication is allowed, because in South Korea, there's medication that we take all the time in SA that is actually illegal here. And it is called codeine. Codeine is in every medication you can think of. We have it in our cough syrups. It's in Myprodols, Mybilins, Genpains, Mypades, those red Sinutabs. Codeine is everywhere. That stuff is not allowed here. The same with opium, hemp as well. There are other things that we are also not supposed to have in our system when we come here, or medication to even carry. But people carry what they want to carry. I myself did not even bring grandpa, guys, because I am very scared of immigration. I always try my best to abide by the rules of a country because I don't want to get stopped and asked all sorts of silly questions and have my bag being opened, because it actually happens quite a lot and I really hate it. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. You don't have drugs in your bag, but anything is possible on flights and stuff, guys. Be very, very careful. Do not go onto a flight and start making too many friends, having people handle your bags or hold other people's bags. Guys, do not do it. When you get on that flight, guys, just put on those headsets or your earphones and just handle your gin and eat, relax, sleep, look after your belongings and stuff, because being too friendly sometimes in flights can land you in trouble. But here's a tip as well. If you're coming to South Korea and you are ill, remember the medication I just mentioned to you now that's illegal. Please stay off that medication for a good week before you arrive. 2 weeks would actually be perfect, but if you're really in pain, make it a week, because a lot of people have gotten a positive drug test because of things like codeine. Now, if you're with Epic, they will send you home. They don't want to know that you took codeine because you had a lip job or your nail broke. They won't even ask you questions. They will send you packing. If you are with a Hagwon though, you may find a very nice director that says, okay, let us wait for the medication to wear out of your system and then you'll test after a week or so, which happens a lot at times. Sometimes you find directors who say, nope, we are not interested, you're going back home. And then I'm going to pay for your flight back home. Funny thing is that, poppy seed muffins or anything that's got poppy seed in. I actually heard that poppy seed has a dash of opium in it. I'm not sure how true this is. I've read about it quite a lot. And I thought, oh my word. Imagine being sent home all because you had a poppy seed muffin on a flight. That would just be pure bad luck. So maybe you also want to stay away from things like that, guys. I've not heard anything about gin. That seems to be okay. But stay away from meds that are not allowed here. Stay clear of all things, guys. Obviously, you cannot smoke weed and stuff like that. Just stay away from all of these things that may prevent you from obviously starting your contract. I almost forgot one really important thing. So when you arrive here in South Korea, and in fact, this goes for all South Africans all over the world, wherever you guys are at, when you arrive in whichever country you are going to, please look for the South African Embassy. Look for its location and go onto the website and find out how you can register your information online. I'm going to leave a link for our embassy here in South Korea. Once you have your resident card, because they're going to need that as well, fill in all of your information. They're going to ask for your address, your contact numbers, emergency numbers, and This is actually going to help you should anything break out while you are here in South Korea. And that is actually how our passports actually come in handy. The passport is not for you just to use it as a visa booklet or for you to collect all of these amazing stamps. But one other important use of a passport is for a country to locate its people. So we're now in South Korea. I've registered my information on the embassy's website. Should anything break out, it's very easy for the embassy to say, oh, okay, this is her address. They contact you, they find out, hey, would you like a flight back home? Or do you need assistance? Do you need this and that? So it's very, very important, guys, to register your information on your country's embassy website. Yeah, I think that's the video. I cannot believe that I have almost been here for 1 year. It still feels like 3 months. I've had so much fun in South Korea. I wish we could actually rewind. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I wish we could rewind to all the good times when I was not sick. But anyway, guys, you know, if you need any more information, you are definitely welcome to reach out to me. And for now, until next time, yes, I am going to upload the video on Busan part 2. Relax, guys, it is coming. I just need to get over this whole camp situation, finish off the semester and get ready for summer. I've got very big plans for my summer vacation. I'm super excited. And I think this is about it. So, as usual, 사랑해!